This vlog is dedicated to Blue Ivy and every child who finds themselves caught in the glaring spotlight of the way that we have made it acceptable to tear each other down for the way that we're looking. For the way that we're looking to not only ourselves, which we perhaps see in the mirror originally and think of ourselves as being beautiful and being extraordinary, until we start to see how we appear to others through their filter. And so when I hear comments and I read comments being delivered by people of all ethnic backgrounds and all ages, most of them adults, who are commenting on how Blue Ivy looks a little too much like her father. When I see the different interviews and articles that are juxtaposing Northwest next to Blue Ivy, two little children under the age of being able to even articulate the pain of what it's going to feel like of being judged solely on their features. I'm reminded again why we've created the bully-proof diva. Because all of us need to wake up to the various forms that we are not only victimized by bullying, but we're complicit in accepting how we judge each other and how we allow the media to continue the conversation about how we're not enough. And so at this time, when we're looking at and tearing down and laughing at Blue Ivy as if we're not in the same process tearing down ourselves, I'm asking you to consider something very, very carefully. When and how did it become okay for us to torment children? When and how did we become so indifferent to how our comments make each other feel that we're finding it acceptable to laugh at one child because perhaps her parents are rich and famous, without us realizing that in doing so we're laughing at every other child that is not living up to this lens of whatever we deem to be perfect. Blue Ivy has been crucified before she's even entered school. She's been crucified for all of our sins, all of our indifference, and all of our woundedness. At this time, I'm going to ask you to think very, very carefully. If this is something that in the past you thought was maybe just a conversation about celebrity, about fame, about whatever, I'm going to ask you to consider that it's about so much more than that. And I'm going to ask you to think long and hard, what would you say? What are you saying when you comment on these features that you think are worthy or not worthy? And what are you saying not only to that person that you're laughing at or judging, what are you saying to yourself, and what are we saying to each other? Here at the Bully-Proof Diva, being bully-proof is not only our ability to deflect the ways that people make us feel less than, it's our ability to make sure that we're protecting one another so each of us is able to be showcased and seen for our best. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Whether you are at the workplace right now or whether you're at home, what will you say and what will you do to ensure that not only Blue Ivy, but every other child, whether it's a big child or a little child, whether it's an adult or a young adult, where it's never justified again to be torn down because someone thinks they look too much like a parent who is too much like ...